What's going on, YouTubers? Guddang775's back with another video. Today I'll be talking about my Anthem experience played on the Xbox One X, the most powerful console out there, even though it doesn't feel like it sometimes when you're playing this game, but I'll get more into that later in the video. Now, the reason why my video is out so late is because I wanted to finish the mission, basically the main story mission of Anthem, and I've basically talked to the majority of people in Anthem and finished. I've turned Anthem, Fort Tarsis into a better place for the most part. I have. Okay, I've done a lot in Anthem. I've did all the strongholds. I've done all the missions for the most part. Unlocked more than half the achievements for this game. So I got a pretty much good grasp of what Anthem is, and I got about 50 hours into this game. Now that's including the 10-hour trial, which rolled over into the full game. I put probably 10 hours of the I played the 10-hour trial, and I put about 40 hours into the main game when it launched. The thing is, if you include the open beta and the closed beta times, I've got about 60 hours into Anthem. Okay, I've got a lot of time into Anthem, so I believe I can give you folks a fair assessment if you're thinking about jumping into Anthem right now or possibly later on down the road. Now, first off, okay, I'm going to be talking about gameplay and the fun factor. Then I'll be talking about the issues that I had with it. That's pretty much the most important things for me, okay? And you first time listening to my video reviews like this, I basically talk off the cuff of my head, okay? I remember everything good about the game that I liked, and I talk about it, and I talk about everything bad about the game that I didn't like. I talk about that, and at the end, I give the game a score, 1 being absolute garbage, 10 being the best thing ever since the day I was born. I give a score 1 through 10 at the end of the video, so please bear with me. Now, first off, the gameplay and fun factor. Now, the most appealing thing of Anthem is the combat, the gameplay. The combat gameplay is phenomenal, okay? This combat gameplay, open world combat gameplay, is what drew me into Anthem in the first place. When I first saw Anthem on the E3 stage of Xbox back in 2015 or 16, I think it's 2015, it was phenomenal. It blew my mind when I first saw it. I was like, whoa, what is this? Okay, because I never seen anything like it. Okay, you're basically Iron Man flying around in these suits, okay, and you're fighting big monsters. Like, I want to play that, okay, and I sure heck did. I played the heck out of it for the last week and a half. I played the heck out of Anthem, okay. The combat is smooth. The gunplay is very satisfying, okay, especially when you're playing with friends, okay, in a squad, a full squad of your friends. Everyone's communicating. You can pretty much take out the most take on the most toughest challenges out there. Like, I've done Grandmaster level 1 with a group of friends, and even though it was hard, it was doable. Now, Grandmaster level 2 is no joke, okay? That you need a power level of 475 and up to get into the game, but it doesn't stop people like me, power level 413, jumping into people groups with higher power levels than me, and you know, testing my mettle with them. Now, I've done 3 Grandmaster missions, 2 of them are Grandmaster level 1, and we beat both of those. Now, the third one we beat, but we got lucky. We got super lucky with Grandmaster level 2, and that stuff was hard, alright? But it was satisfying. The combat, the transitioning from flying, running, combat, walking, I mean, underwater swimming, it's phenomenal. No other game out there right now provides an experience like Anthem does, okay? Maybe Warframe. Warframe comes close, okay? And possibly even better. Sorry. No, I had to put that out there. But Anthem is phenomenally good, okay? Now, there's a double-edged sword to this, okay? Because there is the story mode in Anthem, which is like double-edged sword, like I say, which basically takes the wind out of your sails for most people. Not me. Now, not me. I like the story aspect of this game, even though it's not top-notch. It's okay for me, and it doesn't bother me. But for the majority of people out there, it's gonna drive them nuts, okay? A lot of people I talk to, they just hit the B button to skip the dialogue in these conversations. And the thing is, you go back to Fort Tarsis after you do your combat missions and whatnot, you have to talk to people to unlock missions. That's the only way you're going to unlock new missions, is by talking to people in the game. So it goes from fast pace to a snail's pace. Immediately, as soon as you get out of the combat, you go back to Fort Tarsis, everything is slow. And like every character, don't get me wrong, all the voice actors, they sound very familiar. They're actors from the Mass Effect and Dragon's Age universe. Now, the thing is, it's like they're acting, but it's like they're sleepwalking when they're doing the talking, because they're so disinterested when they're talking. They sound very monotone and very, what do you call that? It's like they're tired. It's like they're on drugs or something. Like what's that? The Xanax that come, or Ambien. Ambien. That's what they sound like. They sound really, I don't know. They're like stoned. They sound slow. They sound slow and tired. That's what I get from listening to all the dialogue. And believe me, I've listened to all the dialogue. I've helped all the characters. Okay, I helped Sarnia. I've helped Bryn, Dax. I've played Matchmaker. I've helped Matthias. I've helped almost everybody in Fort Tarsis. Okay, I know their names by heart because I actually went ahead and talked to everyone and pretty much remembered most of the things they told me. Okay, in this game. And I liked it, but majority of people out there, it's gonna drive them nuts. Okay, so like I said, it's a double-edged sword. So fun factor when you're playing out there in the open world combat, and you know, during a mission or a stronghold, fun factor is like super high. Okay, it's really fun. But as soon as you go back to Fort Tarsis, the fun factor, it drops to an all-time low. Okay, it's like extreme weathers here in Texas. We can be like 90 degrees one time, like during the day, then 40 degrees at night. So very similar. Okay, it goes from one end of the spectrum to the other very quickly. Now that's the gameplay and fun factor. For the most part, it kind of leans more toward the fun factor for me, because the open world combat gunplay, okay, combat, that trumps the story for me. I love the combat. Of course, that's everybody. But because of that open world combat, because that's so good, I'm okay with doing the story. Okay, but a lot of people are gonna get sick of it. So I can kind of see, you know, it's the low scores. I can kind of see some people giving this game low scores. Okay, I'm not gonna argue with that. Now, let's talk about performance and issues with the game that I've had. Now, performance, for the most part, when it comes to resolution, the game looks phenomenal on the Xbox One X. It hits native 4K sometimes, supposedly, and it drops supposedly down dynamic 4K to 1700p or something like that, okay, according to Digital Foundry and others out there. So there's a dynamic scaling of 4K. The thing is, the frame rate is smooth for the most part, except when you get into some really big, hot and heavy firefights, especially with full squads, and especially with a ton of enemies on screen. The frames drop like crazy in some of those scenes. They drop down to well below 30 frames per second, close to 20 frames per second, some of those scenes, and that kind of impacts the game a bit. For me, I power through it, but for the average gamer, it's gonna mess them up a lot. Okay. And the thing is, there are some glitches and whatnot. Sometimes, like here, Matthias, I'm trying to talk to Matthias, he keeps on disappearing into the floor. There are glitches. You're gonna have to restart the game. And there's this black screen thing. This pisses me off. There's only one other game two other games this happened to me have this black screen where I can see my friends in the background, whatnot, and I can hear the enemies shooting and whatnot. The thing is, you can't do anything. You're stuck in that black screen. So all you have to do is you have to restart the game. Now, the good thing, the upside to that is when you do restart the game or you get booted out of your squad, okay, and if they're still there, if you rejoin the game fast enough, you can pick up where you left off, well, a little bit after where you left off, and you can still get credit for the mission, the parts of the mission you did, and keep everything you have. Basically, you don't lose anything, you know, like, let's say if you got a masterwork. Now, I'd be livid if I lost a masterwork or legendary item if it dropped and I got booted and I didn't get back in time. But at least it gives you that option to join into the game and resume your squad place with that group. And there's always gonna be a minimum of 4 people to a group. Okay, four people to a server, I should say. There's always going to be 4 people on server, so you can play free play by yourself, but for the most part, the missions and the strongholds, you're playing with other people. Okay, if you don't have a squad, you'll be playing with randoms, and therein lies the problem, because some, like, majority of randoms are okay, but there's gonna be some that's gonna piss you off. They're like people who like join into the game and they just stand there, or they go fly out, like they fly to the mission areas, but when you get to the mission area, they go fly just outside of the mission area where they don't have to do anything, and they just stand there and they just get credit. Okay, and that kind of pisses you off, because that leaves you kind of hanging, especially if you try to do something like Grandmaster or hard modes. That could suck big time. You're pretty much not gonna get anywhere. But for the most part, people doing those Grandmaster and hard missions, everyone's working together for the most part. Now, talking, that's another part. A lot of people are like shy. They don't talk when they, what you call that, they do random missions and whatnot. No one talks. Okay, that's why I recommend squatting up with someone, with a group of people. You can try and, you know, open up a Xbox chat with the people you get paired up with randomly, but 8 times out of 10 they're gonna just ignore you for the most part. Let's see what else. But yeah, so far the best thing about this game is the gameplay and the combat, and it has a bunch of other things going against this game. Now, I don't usually talk about sound. The sound sounds on point, okay, and the music is okay. It's a BioWare game. It sounds decent. It's very majestic sounding, okay. Now, the soundtrack, like Destiny 2, I don't care for, but the soundtrack in Destiny 2 was phenomenal. I got maybe 10-20 hours in Destiny 2. I can already tell the soundtrack in Destiny 2 was phenomenal. This one was okay compared to Destiny 2. It's not bad. It's not the best either. You see. But yeah, so fun factor, I talked about gameplay, I talked about the glitches and whatnot. So would I recommend picking up Anthem right now, or do I recommend you folks waiting like a few months until Anthem gets better? Well, I recommend folks looking to get into Anthem wait till May or after May to pick up Anthem, because that's when all the updates to Anthem, for the most part, that we can see in the foreseeable future will be ready. Okay, and that's when I think most folks should pick the game up. But if you really want to play the game now, I'm not going to argue against that either, because it is still fun, phenomenally fun. Okay, what keeps me coming back to playing this game is the fun factor in this game. Okay, the combat. So if I had to rate this game, 1 being absolute garbage and 10 being the best thing ever since the day I was born, I would give Anthem a solid 7 out of 10 as of right now. Because if they fix things later on, okay, in a few months, I'll have no problem coming back and changing my review score. But then again, we shouldn't have to, because the game should have been finished in the first place. Okay, I blame EA for forcing BioWare to push this out when it's not ready. It obviously needed some time in the oven to cook, but yeah, that's my score, 7 out of 10. Okay, knocked off a 1.5 for the glitches that I experienced, and a 1.5 for the performance issues, like the frame rate and whatnot. And it's supposedly being on the Xbox One X, the most powerful, it has some of the most problems, especially when it comes to FPS and whatnot. But yeah, let me know what you folks think about Anthem. You folks liked it? Yay? You didn't like it? Nay? You kind of like it, or maybe thinking about it? Maybe? Let me know in the comments down below if you folks like Anthem. Look for my Crackdown 3 review video. That's dropping tomorrow. I also beat Crackdown 3 this week as well. So that video is dropping tomorrow. So this is Guddang775. If you folks like this video, hit that like button. Subscribe to my channel for more videos every few days. If you didn't like this video, hit that dislike button. Let me know in the comments down below. I do appreciate the criticism. This is Guddang775. Thanks for watching. Peace out.